So, hello everyone, and welcome to your magic month of November. We are really excited to be doing this show, as we always are. For those of you that have not listened live before, Your Magic Month is an energetic forecast show to help you really engage, commune with the energies of the month and make the most out of your month so that you can manifest the life that you want and live in a higher, happier vibration. As always with Magic Month, we love it to be co-creational. So if you're listening live, please do use the chat box to type in, to say hello, to share with us, share how your month's been, ask questions, all sort of things like that. My name is Katie, and this is the lovely Karen.
Hello, everybody. We've had fun again. We've had technical fun again, but we got here. How exciting is this? We're really looking forward to a good show. Hello.
Hi. Yeah, we always seem to have technical problems with with Magic Month. It's part of the magic, and it's actually relevant to this month and what I will be talking about later on. But I think we're going to start with a lovely meditation just to recover from the technical issues and welcome each other into circle. So I will pass over to Karen now.
Thank you. And I'm going to go off camera in just a second, but whoever is on live, please send us a little note and tell us that you can hear us okay, you can see us okay, and that all is well. And until such time, we're going to go off onto our little meditation just to welcome everybody into circle. So if you would like to gently close your eyes and just follow your breath in, breathing in through your nose, following your breath down through your lungs, your heart, your abdomen, holding it for a moment, becoming present to yourself, to this moment, and breathing out, letting everything go, all stress and strain, all worries, all concerns. You're right here, right now, all is well. And now breathe in again and allow your breath to take your awareness down through your body, comfortably continuing breathing as you're following your energy through your legs, your feet, allowing the energy, your awareness to go down through the ground, down through the Mother Earth's crust, deeper and deeper and deeper into the core of Mother Earth. And the moment you connect to the center of the earth, you feel immediately a buzz, an immediate energy coming back up through the earth, all the way up through your feet, your thighs, your torso, right up to your head, energizing you with Mother Earth's energy. And now following on from your crown chakra right up, just go up with your awareness, up, 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 up high, maybe a few hundred feet, a few hundred meters, maybe many miles, wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you feel that you're connecting to the light. And taking an in-breath, bring that light back down through your upper chakras and into your heart center. And feel yourself totally connected, totally comfortable. And now in this moment, send your energy out to everyone who's on this call. Everyone who's on this call right now. Everyone who will be on this call at some point in the future. And as you're sending your energy out to them, just sense that feeling of connection, that feeling of community. See how it feels to know that we are here together on this beautiful journey, on this beautiful life. And there's so many beautiful things that we're allowed to share. Just feel that for a moment. And as you're tuning into that, feel the light and the energy inside of you growing stronger and brighter. Because you're receiving all the light and the energy that everybody else is sending you. So all of us are growing brighter and more energized. And take another breath in. Just rejoicing in that feeling, feeling yourself back on your seat, feeling yourself back fully in your body, fully energized, fully right here and right now. This is all you have. This is all you are, always only in the present. And we are so glad you're with us. So coming back, opening your eyes, and welcome to a great show.
Thank you so much, Karen. That really helped me recover from the technical drama. It was beautiful. It was really, I love the moment of the light and feeling the light inside yourself. I think that's so important at this time. We would, of course, love to hear from you that are listening live as to how you felt in the opening meditation. And yes, November is an interesting month. We are going through my guides have said we're going through a collective dark night of the soul. And if you don't know what the dark night of the soul is, it's usually referred to as a personal thing, not a collective thing. There are some schools of thought out there that say the dark night of the soul only happens kind of once in your life. My guidance is opposite from that. My guidance says that the dark night of the soul actually happens every time you move up a cycle, every time you complete a cycle of your path on earth. And it's actually the end of the cycle, and it's the energy that is required for you to move up into the next phase, the new cycle. And so it is a very, very powerful energy to be in, especially when we're in it collectively. And when we're in it collectively, it means that as a Gaia tribe, as a soul family, we're about to shift into a new cycle of our evolution. Usually kind of on a DNA level, actually. The thing about the dark night of the soul is that it is very hard to go through. It's how I like to describe it is like the place in the marathon, which, believe me, I haven't run, but my friends that have run it have told me you hit the wall in the marathon. And when you hit the wall, you feel like you can't go on. You feel like you're not going to be able to complete it. Kind of all of your doubts and the struggle of it comes up. And that's the kind of moment that you really have to push through in blind faith, essentially. And actually, after the wall, everybody I know that's run the marathon is like, you could just run twice the marathon again. Like you kind of get this like second wind of every energy, and everything flows and is amazing. But when the wall is happening, or in this case the dark night of the soul is happening, you tend to feel like life is not working out for you, especially in the areas of your life that you've maybe been working on. So the last collective dark night of the soul was around late November, December time last year. And so if you think of everything you've been going through last year, is it coming up for you now? Does it feel like it's come back and you thought you'd sorted it and now it's back? The collective dark nights of the soul are also overlighted by element energies. And last year it was water, and this year it's being overlighted by the element of earth. And that is bringing up particular things, especially feelings like guilt and depression, frustration. Lots of stuff around abundance is coming up. So it's tough, I'm not going to lie. The dark night of the soul is not easy to go through. By all means, feel free to type in and say how you're feeling, say what experiences you're having at the moment. With this dark night of the soul, it is, sorry that the sound is cutting in and out, by the way. Sometimes some people turn the sometimes some people refresh, but I'm wary of advising that because it might cut you off. So yeah, just bear with me. Hopefully it will balance out. Anyway, please let me know if everybody else can hear. And so yeah, the dark night of the soul it's emotional, it's tough. You feel very heavy, you feel quite depressed, especially when the earth is overlighting. You feel like you can't go on and you can't face it, basically, and like you feel frustrated and all of these things. With the earth overlighting, it makes it particularly heavy. But the good news is when a collective dark night of the soul is happening, it actually means that there is loads of amazing things that are happening underneath the surface, and everything that you feel like is not working out for you actually is working out for you. It's just you're in the place before it happens, where it's all happening underneath the surface. It's all happening in the dark. You tend to do a lot of consciousness clearing during the dark night of the soul. My guides actually described it as like the attic is being cleaned out. You also have this really moment with the dark night of the soul where you are forced to kind of come into blind faith. Eventually you stop struggling with it and you learn to accept it, and that is actually really expansive for your own trust. And my guides say that the trust, this expanded trust, is the new level of trust that you need to be able to take that leap of faith onto the next cycle of your path. So it's really the energy that is required to move you into the next vibration that you need to be in. This particular dark night of the soul, because it's so intense, is actually going to come in waves. We've just had a wave. We're on the cusp of that wave finishing. And then we're going to have a break. And then there will be more waves of it leading up and up through November, like maybe 3 days in a row. And then 3 days off, and then 3 days in a row, roughly that. And then it will go right through into December as well, to the winter solstice. And that's when it will be completed, thankfully, because it's very hard. And I say that a lot of guilt is coming up. There is a huge energy around Atlantis that is being brought up this month. By this particular dark night of the soul. It's an ancient DNA healing that is happening, and you really have to kind of just understand that this stuff needs to come up and out and needs to be released. There is also this energy happening with the dark night of the soul that's part of it, that is about the divine feminine. And so the earth energies are really moving us into a state of yin. And that's really the key to the dark night of the soul. You just have to open your heart and relax. The way we heal during the dark night of the soul is very, very different from the way we heal when we're not in the dark night of the soul. And one of the things that a lot of people I know and myself personally have got frustrated with during dark night of the soul periods is what usually works for them stops working for them. And so it can be hugely frustrating, because all of the tools you usually use in your toolbox you now can't use, or they're not being very effective, and so you kind of have to search deeper and find new tools and find tools that don't normally apply to healing and clearing your consciousness now apply. And how you are going to do this is really through finding a yin process, which is about simply accepting, simply releasing and sinking into it. And it can be very hard, especially when it's old emotions and painful emotions, like things like depression and guilt. It can take an awful lot of courage to go down into it without trying to change it, without trying to shift it, simply to just be with it and witness it. And as you sink into it, you actually find a peace at the center of it. And that's where you can then bring the healing in. But if you try and bring the healing in at the surface level, you're just going to be banging your head against the brick wall. It doesn't shift, and it doesn't move, if that makes sense. And I did channel about a meditation for this Your Magic month, and to help you understand this process through experience. And I channeled the meditation, and it was really, really powerful and really amazing. But it's too long. Like, one of the things about yin, I don't know if you know yin yoga, but like yin, you've got to take your time. And like, I would have used up too much time on Your Magic month with this meditation. What I am going to do though, is I'm going to run it as a kind of bonus webinar tomorrow night for those of you that are feeling like you're really struggling with the energies of the dark night of the soul. It's completely free, but it's only free for those who listen live. It's quite high energy, and so after the live webinar, which is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, the recording is going to be charged for. So I've put the link in there. If you want to listen live for free, it is on tomorrow night. And then once you know the process, it's very, very easy to apply to your everyday and to the dark night as it comes up for you, especially in these kind of every few day periods that we're going to have happening in November. The energy of the earth is actually really beautiful. It's a very powerful energy to be overlighting a dark night of the soul, and it's a very, very fertile energy. And you know, the full moon, which is a super full moon, second super full moon, is in the constellation of Taurus. And so whilst the dark night energy is bringing up a lot of abundance, Taurus is very, very connected to money and abundance and security. There is this kind of really beautiful full moon energy that means that whatever you're clearing and creating space for is fertility of abundance, and is kind of seeding for a much freer, more abundant way of being. The guilt energy around money and the guilt energy that is connected to Atlantis, they're connected to each other. It's like the energy around the guilt of the fall of Atlantis is being reflected in our personal relationship with abundance and money. Most people, my guides are saying, collectively feel very, very guilty about money, and they are getting, especially because there's so much awful stuff happening in the world, they're really kind of battling with their own manifestations about coming into abundance and into freedom. And this next month, with everything that is coming up, is a big kind of clearing of all of that, if you work with the energies and if you allow yourself to go through the processes and work with the energies and understand that, like, abundance is connected to your self-love, your self-worth. It is connected to your path. And so it is, and most importantly, it's connected to your ability to be able to serve and help all of these crises that we're seeing in the news, because the more you have to give. And actually nature operates on this law that is actually, there needs to be more than enough. It's not just about having enough. Nature thrives because there is plenty, because there are more than enough seeds and fruits for some of them to become trees and others of them to be eaten. And so it's really about clearing out what's in the way of all of that in your life in general. And it might be directly money, it might be manifesting in relationship terms, or feeling stuck in your job, or just feeling stuck in your life. But all of that stuck energy, guilty energy, and old depression memory energy that you've maybe put in the attic is just going to be coming up in waves through you. And if you allow yourself to sink in it, allow yourself to work through it, to go deep down into it and essentially do the shadow work, the dark night of the soul is basically about being able to do the shadow work. You should, by the winter solstice, be really full of space for so much beautiful light and so many blessings and so much goddess energy to come in. And so whilst it is tough, it is also a very, very beautiful, powerful, transformational, empowering and inspiring experience if you allow it to be. Karen, do you have anything to say?
I'm just taken on the journey with you. It's so beautiful. At the moment, no, I'm just taking it all in, all the things that you've said. Yeah, amazing stuff coming on. The one thing I would say probably is that often our gifts are so hidden, and we have to go through some kind of, I don't want to say pain, but challenge. A challenge, and we have to show that we're brave enough to go into the cave, if you like, into the, be the Minotaur and go right into the cave, having courage, being brave. And that's where you find the treasure, and that's where you find your own treasure.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I think the dark night of the soul really is about that cave energy. It's about kind of going into the darkness, going into the blindness, essentially, and finding the blessings in it. The other thing I wanted to say as well is often the tendency in the dark night of the soul is to really go into hyper fix things mode. Like, I need to sort this out and I'm gonna like go crazy and like try and fix myself and fix my life. And actually what the dark night of the soul often requires from you, especially when Earth is overlighting, is the energy of surrender. so it's less about kind of doing loads of things and more about being like, okay, I'm here. What am I going to find in this cave? As opposed to desperately trying to crawl and climb out of the cave. It's about being there and seeing what treasures are actually in there, you know, and really kind of giving yourself the space to do that and to allow that. And I say, especially when Earth is overlighting, because the Earth is, you know, I'm doing this course with the 5 elements. I'm preparing the course of the 5 elements at the moment. And the Earth is so much about surrender. I actually had a massive breakthrough with that element whilst I was preparing the course, because my guide said that, you know, the 2 female elements of earth and water, and they're female because they both cycle. But that water is actually the birther. Water is the life giver, the birther. And earth is actually the death. You know, the earth is the death, the darkness, the womb, the energy that everything dies into to then be birthed from the water, to be born of the water. And so earth, when Earth is overlighting us, she's really teaching us to die, to surrender, to let go, essentially, and sink into surrender. And I will say that if you're feeling particularly depressed, the vibration to travel through that is surrender. That is what will stop you sinking too deep. Surrender is kind of the high vibrational version of depression. And so it's a choice whether you go into depression or whether you go into the high vibrational version of it, which is surrender. So if any of you have any questions or have anything you want to share, please do type that in. I love it. David has totally been tuning into this month. He said, I have actually been rearranging my attic, which is brilliant. And like I said, it's also a really, really fertile time to be seeding your manifestations in all of that death energy where everything is born from, you know, where everything becomes fertile. And that's why I think it's so wonderful that Karen is going to be sharing more information about law of attraction stuff. So I will pass you over to her.
Thank you, Katie. Katie, I'm going to need your help because my chat for some reason doesn't work. So I'm going to be asking you questions about whatever people will be writing in. So I'm going to ask everybody to just write in whatever happened to you after last session, after the discussing the law of attraction. But before I go on with the next one, I just want to add, or rather confirm what Katie just said. Dark night of the soul is always a challenge to our faith. And to my mind, that's not necessarily a faith in the traditional sense. It's not a churchy kind of faith. But dark night of the soul is a challenge to us to show that we have faith. And that faith could be believing that the universe is friendly. The universe has my back. That I let go of the control that I think that I have to have, because ultimately we have no control at all. And as Katie said, surrender. It's actually, it follows so beautifully. If you have a dark night of the soul, you will need faith. To have faith, you will have to believe that there is something else out there holding you back, having your back, and guiding you. And as I say, Albert Einstein always said, you have to decide whether the universe is friendly or not. So if the universe is friendly and you have that faith, then you can surrender. And it is actually a most beautiful sensation to do that. It's kind of, everything just falls away because we feel that we've got to hold on to everything. So I think that Katie's work for the next few weeks will be phenomenal and beautiful. So has anybody written in about what work they might have done with the law of attraction since last time? I don't know. We have a delay always.
They haven't yet, Karen, but there is a delay. Okay. But Renata says, wow, I felt so gloomy all day yesterday, and I pulled one of my angel cards and got surrender, feeling much more balanced today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and thank you for mentioning Renata. I just also wanted to say thank you for all the wonderful comments after our last show. I even received emails, and it was just so beautiful to hear from you and know that the work that we're doing is so well received. It's beautiful. So we spoke about the law of attraction last time, and everybody's talking about the law of attraction. And hold on. You remember I told you about vibrations and this wonderful little graph that I've done. And another one where you're in vibration, right? So the yellow would be you, the red is what you're desiring, one is you're in alignment, here you're out of alignment, and here is where you're getting into alignment. I hope it kind of shows. And this is where I showed you that if you believe, or if you rather desire something, but you keep on focusing on the lack of that, i.e. you wish to have money, you wish to have a partner, you wish to have a new job, whatever it may be. If you're focusing on the lack of it, you're actually focusing on not having it and therefore pushing it away. So knowing now that if you look around your life, you will realize what vibration what your vibration is, because it will show you, it will vibrate back to you and show you what your focus is, what your vibration is. So how do we get out of this? Because there might be things that you want to change in your life, things that you want to progress to, and that's normal. We must all progress in our lives. So to say, well, I'm focused on the lack, or I don't have something. Well, if I don't have it, how can I focus on something else? And obviously, you feel sometimes that law of attraction is a bit of a trickster, and you think, well, how am I going to ever get what I want if I'm not allowed to think about the fact that I don't have it, and so on. So it's very simple in that we go to the next law, and that's the law of deliberate creation. So having learned that we need to vibrate a certain way in order to attract what we want, we now do it deliberately. So now we become deliberate creators. So how do you do that? So the first thing I'm going to ask you is to write in, or to decide for yourself, the first question of, what is it I want? What do you want? So could you just pick one thing that you know you want right now? Big or small? Doesn't matter. So I hope you all have thought of something. Maybe it's a car, maybe it's a person, a new job, a bigger house, a holiday, or maybe it's just some nice new shoes. Okay, I hope you all have something. And maybe some of you are writing in what it is that you're wanting. So now ask yourself the question, why do you want it? Why do you want it? So you may have on your list the desire for a new car. So you might say, I want a new car because I want it to be reliable, I want it to run smoothly, I want it to be more comfortable. Maybe you don't have a car, so you'll want a car because it'll give you freedom. I want to have a new car because I just love driving it. I love the feeling of driving it. I love the feeling of all the fantastic engineering of a car. I like the sound of the engine. Why do you want it? So whatever it is that you decided upon, one thing only, ask yourself the question, why do I want it? And now that you have asked yourself the question, And I hope you've come up with the answer why you want it. Now ask yourself, how will it make me feel? How will it make me feel? It might make me feel free. It might make me feel successful. It might make me feel loved, depending on what it is that you've decided upon. It might make me feel joyous. It might make me feel abundant. It might make me feel exciting, adventurous. What is it that you're going to feel? Feel that feeling for a moment. Really go into it and feel it. So see yourself in the car, in the new house, on holiday, in the new job, with the new partner, whatever the situation is that you've chosen, with the new coat, with the new shoes, whatever it may be. How do you feel?
David is saying full of inspiration.
Beautiful. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Good. So I'm going to take you into a little visualization. Has anybody maybe given me an idea as to what they want, what it is that they are looking for?
No, they've kept it private, I'm afraid, Karen.
Okay, fair enough.
They've kept their heart's desires private.
We respect that. We respect that. Yeah. What inspirational?
Oh, Kath's saying a holiday.
Oh, holiday sounds good. Excellent. I like it. I'll go with that.
Can it be somewhere very hot?
Well, hold on to that. So before I'm going to do a little visualization with you, I want you to just imagine this. Do you remember I said that you need to get into the right vibration in order to be able to attract whatever it is that you want? Visualize it a little bit like this. You're standing at the edge of a dance floor, and everybody in there is waltzing. And you think, God, I really want to waltz. I mean, I just love the idea of getting in there and just doing this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you're just standing there. You're not doing anything. You're just waiting and hoping that you will get into the waltz. But you won't. And indeed, if somebody did come up who is already in the waltz, say a partner might come up and want to waltz with you, they would actually just bump into you. It would be a real mess because you're standing still and this person is waltzing. So if you want to get into the vibration, and therefore if you want to waltz along with this person, that means that you're going to have to start moving into the vibration. You're going to have to start moving, going into that feeling, going into that motion. And once you're in there, motion, yes? Once you're in there, then things can start to happen. I hope that gives you a little bit of a visual as to how it works, because it's not a trickster. It works for everybody all of the time. It's just a question of, are you in alignment with it? And yes, there are other laws, and we will be talking about those further into the future. We're just on to the second one now. So yes, there are other things to do, but let's focus on this one for tonight. So I'd like to ask you to, I'm going to just take myself off here again. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, take a breath in, feel yourself again in this place, in this space, in this time. And just go back to that little exercise, to those 3 questions that I asked you. And if you have followed, you will have realized that the only reason we ever want anything, ever, is because we believe it will make us feel a certain way. The only reason you want to go on holiday is because you believe it will make you feel a certain way. Excited, adventurous, relaxed, joyful, whatever it may be, but that is your expectation. A new partner, a new job, a new pair of shoes. Whatever it is, you believe it will make you feel a certain way. And so now, with your eyes closed, I'd like you to really deeply feel having whatever that one thing was that you've decided upon. Feel what it will be like to have it, to have that holiday, to have that partner, to have that health, to have that vitality, the car, the shoes, whatever it may be. Just feel it. Be in it. So with the holiday, feel yourself, the excitement beforehand, visualizing, packing, getting yourself ready to go, going to the airport. Feel that sensation in your body of expectation, knowing that there are new things at the other end of this flight, things that you've not maybe before experienced. And even if you've been to the place before, it will still be new. Because now in the present, you take a new you to this place. And the place itself will be new. As the Buddha said, you can never step into the same river twice. So feel that deep inside of your body, how it feels to have this, event. Where in your body do you feel it? Follow the sensation. Where do you feel it? Often we feel it in the solar plexus, but it could be anywhere. It could be the heart. Some people tell me they feel it in the legs and the arms. Just feel it. Does it have a color? That feeling? Does the feeling have a texture? Does it feel very familiar? So you've had this feeling many times before. And still be it within that feeling, that place where you have that thing that you desire. And go a little bit deeper. Make that feeling a little bit stronger. Really be in it now. Really be at that beach, feeling the sunlight. Really feeling that relaxation or that excitement or that joy. get really familiar with that energy, with that sensation inside your body. And now let whatever it is that you've desired drop away. Just let it go. And letting it go, still staying in that feeling. The feeling is still here. You generated the feeling without having the thing. So you know you can generate that feeling. Just feel it. Become really familiar with it. And now anchor that feeling somewhere in your body, either by a symbol, a word, a gesture, a thought. Just anchor it. And what I mean by anchoring it is that you become so familiar with it, you recognize it when it's there. It feels familiar, it feels like you're at home, it feels right. And as you're breathing into it, just allow it to get stronger and stronger. And recognize that right now, you are waltzing. You are now in that vibration. And you are in that vibration without having had to do anything except allowing yourself to be in that vibration. And rejoice in the knowledge that now that you know the vibration, now that you're familiar with it, you can come back to it over and over and over again. And every time you come back to it, you're allowing yourself the possibility to get closer and closer to your desire. No matter how big, no matter how small. Only once you're in alignment with the same vibration as that you are desiring, can it come into your reality. So make yourself a promise right now that every day, once, twice, half a dozen times, I don't care, you can set your timer by it, or you could do it at night before you fall asleep. That's a really good time to do it, by the way. That you hook back into this feeling that you have right now. Just into the feeling. You don't have to go into a big visualization. Because once you've let the visual drop, once you are stop being precise about what it is that you want, but you're focusing on the feeling that you want to create, then you can let the universe bring you whatever it is that matches this feeling. And it could be so much better than what it is that you had originally thought you wanted. So this way, everything is open. This way you're saying, I don't actually care what it will be, how it will look, bigger, smaller, whatever, as long as I get this feeling. And allow yourself to be surprised as to what's coming. So just decide how often you will tune into this, how often you're allowing yourself to feel this good. And you may even decide that you're going to carry this feeling throughout your day, every day. How would that be, feeling this good every day? And you can, because you are now, so you know that you can. And then from that place, you can just allow everything around you to unfold. You can allow the universe to bring you all its gifts. And you just will be overjoyed and enchanted over and over. So take a breath in, coming back to here and now. Becoming present to yourself and this body. Hanging on to that feeling, hanging on to that hug. Rejoicing that it is so easy to feel good. And as you're closing your eyes, as you're opening your eyes rather, one more tip. At night, when you go to bed, just as you're going to sleep, put a big smile on your face. For 60 seconds, hold that smile. Okay, it may seem like a silly grin, I don't care. If you do this for 60 seconds, you will send a message to your brain. And that message says, I'm happy. I am so happy. And you will take that happiness into your sleep. And you will take that happiness into your dreams. And you will be able to wake up with that happiness the next day. So it may be silly to grin like this, but it does the trick. And 60 seconds, hey, you can do that. You can do that many times a day. It's true, they have done the tests and they know that the brain will actually create the chemicals to make you feel great if you do this for 60 seconds. Just holding that, because the muscles here will send the message to the brain going, hey, I'm happy. So if you're laughing out loud, 10 seconds will do the same thing. If you don't laugh out loud all that often, then just grin stupidly, and then the laugh out loud will come automatically. Okay, Katie, you're back.
I love that 60-second smile. I think that's amazing. It's so yin yoga as well. It's like, okay, I'm just going to smile into it. That's brilliant. Yeah, I'm grinning now too, David. The comments all came through, Karen, after you'd started the meditation.
Oh, there you are then.
But I wanted to say that within everybody's comments, you are actually already saying the feelings when you're saying what you want. Like Roseanne says, I'm looking for the ease in being spirit on earth. So you've already said the feeling. You often say the feeling of the thing you want when you're trying to explain what it is that you want, because we're humans, we communicate in feeling.
So true.
And my guides in that beautiful meditation, which I just thank you, Karen. It was so uplifting, and she's such a wonderful uplifting life coach. It reminded me of all of our amazing sessions that we did together. I strongly recommend her as a life coach. But during that amazing session, my guides kind of gave me a nudge, and they were like, just go over with people how this applies to the dark night of the soul, because it sounds almost like me and Karen are contradicting each other by me saying go into your shadow, go into the bad feeling, and Karen saying don't, vibrate with the positive feeling. But actually they really, really complement each other, because what it's about is when something comes up in the dark night of the soul is saying, okay, so you want this new cycle with this new, happier, brighter, more beautiful, abundant, awesome, vibrational life. I'm going to bring up everything that's in the way of that. And so when that stuff comes up, rather than ignoring it and fighting it, if you go into it, you will release it. And that will then create the space for the new vibrational manifesting to come in. And so it's almost like you do the clearing of in fact, it's really powerful if you clear the stuff that comes up and heal the stuff that comes up, and then do Karen's exercise on bringing the new vibration in, because you've just created a load of space by for that new vibration to come into your subconscious as well as into your conscious. Wouldn't you agree, Karen?
Yes, and I think that it's absolutely true that it needs to show you what it is that's in the way. Because so many people go, yeah, well, I don't know, what is it that's blocking me? Something is blocking me. But well, it's there, and it will show you. And the gift is actually that the universe does give us this time, that it does show us. I had one client, I did a visualization with her. I do that a lot with clients. It just works really well. It's like Jung has worked a lot with pictures, and so we can work with metaphors, and we work with pictures, as Katie just said. And she's working very, very hard on her career. She's really out there doing stuff. And in the visualization, what I kind of get guided into whatever the right visualization is. What came up is that she was working really hard, but she was pushing against the door. And I realized that she was so hard, so powerfully pushing against the door opened the other way. So actually all her energy was the pushing energy, and that means that she used all her energy and didn't really get very far. So once you let go and surrender and say, okay, I do it, I do whatever I like with pleasure and with joy. And yes, sometimes it's hard. That doesn't, obviously, but the hard thing is the challenge. The hard thing is that's how we grow. That's how we become diamonds. If it weren't hard, if we didn't have the knocks, we wouldn't be able to shine brighter and brighter. We'd just be the same. And how dull would that be? So the challenges are a real gift. And so embrace it. And absolutely, as Katie said, no contradiction at all.
No, none whatsoever. And in fact, it's total alchemy. Like everything that you clear, everything you release, everything you honor and heal can then become more energy for that new vibration, you know? So they really work and unite beautifully together. I love the image of pushing against the door, because I think that's so true for this time. We've only got 15 minutes left, and I'd actually like to, before we close, share some tips with you about how to just manage the dark night of the soul in your everyday. Because of course we all have to go to work, and like we can't just spend the whole morning healing our drama you know, that is coming up for us. So I've got some tips for you about how to just kind of cope with it in the everyday. But we have to do card of the month, which I have with me. And before we do that, I also have a special offer for everyone on Magic Month, which I'm really excited about. So as I mentioned before, I am running a course called The 5 Elements of the Soul. And this course has blown my mind. Like, I have never experienced a course that has flown through me with so much energy and power as I've been tuning in and channeling to it. The poetry that seems to come from these elements that want to reach us and touch us is so kind of chokingly beautiful. And the course is about transformation. So for people that really want to change their lives in any area of their life, you can apply this course too. And it's about kind of working with the dark night of the soul, working with what's in your subconscious, and inviting these elements that are the elements of the universe, but are also the elements of our own souls, to work through us. And I cannot express how many breakthroughs I've had in my own life simply tuning into this course. Just the deep understanding of what happens when elements are out of balance within ourselves, the incredible power that you can access for change when you know which elements are right for which thing. It's just so beautiful and so liberating. And because I'm so excited about it, we've had quite a lot of people sign up already, but I spoke to my business partner, Kath, and I was like, I'd really like to do, we decided together that we're so excited about it, that we'd really like to do a special Magic Month offer to make it as accessible as possible for people listening to Magic Month. And so we are doing a special discount for Magic Monthers. It's only running for 24 hours because we have a deadline for anybody that books before the 2nd, which is tomorrow at midnight. They are also going to get an extra bonus webinar. It's an online course, so it's all done with webinars and meditations and emails and online support group. Any one that books it by midnight tomorrow night will also get a bonus specific abundance clearing, which I now think maybe should be done on Taurus moon to help with the abundance healing that is happening. I did that ceremony for myself today, and it was one, like I said, I was floored with the amount of energy that was kind of coming through me and how I felt afterwards. I've just never experienced energetic work on this level, and it's so important because these are the elements that make our world happen. So you're really inviting change into the physical form. They are elements that move in spirit and in physical form and in soul form. And so they can really access your life. And yeah, it's just so important and magical. So there is the offer. You can click on it and find out more. It gives you £50 off the price, over £50 off the price. And it's just a gift from Magic Month to help you if you want to create that kind of change in your life and become your own shaman essentially, and learn how to heal yourself with these amazing masters of change that are the elements. And interestingly, that links in. I loved how Karen was talking loads about water. I don't know if you noticed that, Karen. Did you notice that? You had loads of water
I just go with it.
So you had loads of water themes running in what you were saying. And like, for me, I was like, that's so meaningful because we're being overlighted by this earth energy, and water is really the solution for the earth, because what the earth does is try and stay really still, and the water comes in and helps it to move and kind of helps it to waltz and stuff like that. And so you were kind of instinctually using water to kind of balance the dark night of the soul in the people that was listening, which I thought was...
How interesting. And by the way, I wanted to just mention that this morning, the card that I pulled, not just for myself, but intentionally also for tonight, was the angel Uziel, who is faith.
Oh my gosh.
So I just thought how remarkable.
It's amazing, like that, you know, the magic's there. Like, even in fact, when you're in the dark night of the soul, when you're in the dark night of the soul, there is loads of magic to be seen if you stop pushing against that door and just allow and be and receive the magic. And yeah, that's magical. I love that. So I'll just see if we've any... Oh, David said he's feeling really uplifting, lovely about your meditation, Karen. That's just what I needed in the darkness. And Renata's grinning all over my face. What wonderful advice. Love the smile. It's amazing. So the card of the month is Embody Ancient Wisdom.
Wow.
And that, again, actually resonates with the last closing meditation that I'm going to do, because with the earth overlighting, there is so much we can access. There is so much, you know, the indigenous world, the shamanic world, the older brothers in spirit, in the soil, in the earth, are calling us to find that old wisdom, to find those old ways. And it's actually manifesting with the pipeline stuff in America. You know, like, it's actually coming into mainstream media, which, you know, whilst it seems like a crisis, there's a beautiful blessing in that these ancient cultures are starting to get media coverage and starting to be honored. And, you know, that is such a good example of the dark night of the soul seeming like a crisis, but actually there's this really amazing thing that's happening through it. Wouldn't you agree, Karen?
Yes, my God. I mean, my heart breaks when I think about it. And yet I rejoice as well, because the people there are tribes that have come together that really weren't friendly.
Yeah.
with each other, and they kind of said, okay, let's just down all the tools about the past, and let's come together. And it's just so beautiful. It gives me goosebumps, and I so agree with you, Katie, that it's just a beautiful moment where people can come together and show what we can do as people once we're actually anchored into ourselves, into our wisdom.
And I just think it's symbolic as well of us remembering our ancestral wisdom, our shamanic wisdom, our tribal wisdom. And that's, you know, that's being remembered in our collective media consciousness at the moment because of it. So everything has blessings and burdens in this time on the planet, definitely. Before we do our closing meditation, please do type in, ask any questions, share anything you feel to you would like to share, any of your own ancient wisdom you would like to share. By the way, if you click the offer links, they don't take you away from the webinar, they just open in another tab. And I will put up our Facebook page, which is obviously free for you to like, but we try as often as possible to share important guidance about eclipses and moons and energy things that are happening on the Facebook in between each magic month. The tips that I have for you about dealing with the dark night of the soul, and like I said, it is coming in waves. I think Karen's lifted us out of the last dark night of the soul that we were on the first wave that we were just on the cusp of finishing. And the next one will be coming up in a few days, just every few days it will be like that for November. And when it comes up, if you don't feel, you know, if you feel a bit overwhelmed, the first thing I suggest is that you do even a 5-minute meditation standing up. Because when you feel overwhelmed with this dark night of the soul, you basically have too much earth energy going on. And if you meditate and, you know, even do Karen's smile, but standing up, you're essentially going to allow your physical body to rebalance that sink that the dark night of the soul wants to create, that pushing down, that giving up. The other thing that I suggest you do is, because there is a lot of healing happening in our physical bodies, because it is earth and our bodies are earth, do as much exercise as you can. You know, whether it's go for walks, whether it's, especially if you're feeling heavy, just go to a class, just exercise, move your body, dance around your living room, just shake it out of your body. I would also strongly recommend that you don't eat too many root vegetables, funnily enough, because you're kind of just overloading your body with earth energy. So like if you're feeling very heavy, just back off the root vegetables and spend time either in or near water. Like I was saying, the water energy is what you need if you've gone too much earth and too much dark night of the soul. So if you can walk by a river, or even just have a hot Epsom salt bath, just be with water if it gets too much. And those are like practical little things that will help you not sink too deep into it, not get too, if you not go into overwhelm, basically help you stay functioning if it feels very overwhelming. I don't know if you have any other suggestions, Karen.
Actually, the one thing that I would say, Epsom salt is, I would have said if you hadn't said it, yeah, that's just so wonderful. And if you can't do a bath, then do a foot bath or something. But also, sometimes when we're overwhelmed emotionally, whatever your coping mechanism may be, but crying actually is a really good one. Why? Because crying is the pump of the emotions. So water being the pump of the emotions, the heart is the pump of the blood and the energy in the body, but water is the tears are the pump of the emotions. So even if you don't know what it's all about, but you feel like you just want to feel sorry for yourself and you just want to sit in a corner for a while and cry. Cry, just cry, 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 cry. And don't worry about it. Try not to analyze what it is about anyway. Just let it go. And just feel like as you're crying, just let it go and go like, okay, whatever it is, just come out. Just move, 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 move. And you'll feel so much better afterwards. And then a good night's sleep or a bath first and a good night's sleep, you'll feel so much better.
I love that advice, Karen. I'm very pro crying, definitely. And you know, when the dark night stuff is coming up, cry through it, release it, do not keep it in. Get Mother Water to express it through you, through your tears. And yeah, I think that's fabulous advice for the dark night of the soul. Thank you so much. And I love the concept of the pump. Ilse saying, I found a lovely meditation rock next to the sea where I live. It helps me so much. Yes, I feel very lucky to live by the sea. Those of us that live by the sea are very lucky because we get to go there. It helps me too very much. And David's saying, I mainly cry in joy, letting it go into the joy. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, you're also inspiring. Thank you. This closing meditation is the invocation of the earth from the Course with a little heart beating with Gaia. When we invoke, we invite ceremonial healing to our subconscious, to our wholeness, to the parts of ourselves that are not operating in the third dimension. And so it really is about becoming whole when we invoke, when we come into ceremony in that way. And so enjoy it. May it bless your dark night of the soul, November. We will, of course, be back next month. In between, we have the offer, the Facebook group like button up. So if you'd like to stay in touch with us in between, you know where to find us. Thank you all so much. So much love and so many blessings. I will let Karen say goodbye and then we will do the meditation.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. It's just so wonderful. I feel that we're creating a community, so tell other people about it as well. We need to be in community during this time, and that just really helps everybody and helps the planet as well. And write to us. Let us know what you think, what it is that you want, what we can improve upon, and we just like hearing from you. So lots of love, and until next month. Bye-bye.
So closing your eyes and feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. As you open your heart to Mother Earth, to Mother Gaia, feel your heart beating with the heart of the earth. Feel her love pulsing in your body, pulsing through your vibration. And as you sense her love, welcome it to do the healing for you, to do the alchemy process for you, to create the space for you, to move you into the vibration that you need to be. Relax into the maternal, pulsing love that holds you now. that breathes you now. Invocation for the earth. Grandmother Earth, earth of my soul, ancestral tribes of Gaia, come to me now. Teach me the old ways. May each step be inside the ancient footprint where my bones will remember. Show me how to surrender, how to die in the arms of my mother. For she will sew my shroud with the secrets of alchemy. Learn me them as you hold me, whilst I wait, buried under the soils of the womb. I will open my heart to the dark prayer, where all is born. Here in blindness, I will feel our hearts beating in wholeness. Here in newness, my blood can once again belong to the path of the guardian. Here I hear the songs of the earth. They are my resurrection. And inside this heartbeat, let yourself hear the music of the earth now. Let it into the old wounds, into the old energy, into what is coming up to be released. And notice how you feel as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Staying with yourself and your heartbeat. Welcome the month of November. Into your heart. So many magical blessings to you all.